time, Brigid Kosgei of Kenya, 2019 London Marathon champion, and your defending champion of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. And headlining the men's field, Galen Rupp of the United States, 2017 champion of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon and 2016 Olympic Marathon bronze medalist. Parker Stinson of the United States, 20 and a two-time Olympian. Dixon Chumba of Kenya, 2015 Bank of America Chicago Marathon champion and two-time champion of the Tokyo Marathon. Lawrence Cherono of Kenya, 2019 Boston Marathon champion, two-time champion of the Amsterdam Marathon and two-time champion of the Honolulu Marathon. Mo Farah of Great Britain, 2012 and 2016 Olympic gold medalist and your defending champion of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon.
There it goes.
All right, here we go.
Awesome.
They are off. I have to tell you, I even get a little bit nervous right before that gun goes.
I have
It's like,
goosebumps.
how are they going to do? How's it going to go? Who's going to pull out? Will they get into a pack? And that's part of the strategy, right, guys? I mean, seeing just how it all comes together, who tries to take the lead, who does what. We have rabbits again. We have pacers again.
This is his fifth Chicago. He won here in 2015. He knows the course really well. So he will have a strategy and a race plan worked out very, very carefully, I'm sure, in his own mind. And it seems to be playing out the way he wants at the moment.
He knows his course and he knows himself. He's very comfortable with himself as well.
Chumba said he was in better shape now than when he won in 2015. Of course, we often say that, but looks like he's...
You got that right, Carol. Thanks so much. And we're looking right now at past champions Mo Farah from 2018 and Galen Rupp from 2017. These are former training partners.
Galen, without Alberto Salazar being right there, that is a little bit harder to measure.
Her own tapering workouts anyway.
Both athletes have to kind of deal with that, and it'll be interesting to see how things fare today.
We want to point out that he was actually suspended. He's been accused of drug doping. So that's part of the issue here. And none of the runners has tested positive. We really want to make that point at this point. None of these runners has tested positive ever.
It's a unique situation. You know, it's kind of like there's a smoking gun, but no body. You know, it's a really weird situation. And, you know, I think there was intent is what USADA were upset about, and that is what they've nailed him on.
The U.S.
and banned for 4 years. But actually...
Under 212. So these ladies are out fast with their two pacemakers, and it's going to be a great race right now. It looks like Brigid Kosgei is very smooth. She does not have a watch on. She's not paying attention to the clock. She's watching her two pacemakers. So they have to be careful to lead her through at the right tempo. But you guys, right now, she is on a mission. I know that world record is on her mind, and she's going for it.
All right, Carrie, she is going to be the one to watch in this race, and it's going to be exciting. All right, we want to check in now with Alicia Roman. She's got a special guest.
Right in the lead from the front. He dropped back a little bit at the water station, but right now it's a pack of 9. Mo's off the back a little bit, but Rupp is in, I guess, 9th off the pack, but it's definitely strung out. They're on 2:04:20 pace at this point, getting ready to head into the 4-mile mark.
All right, Todd Williams out there. I know you will be keeping us posted on how they look directly from the field. And, you know, today's going to be a very emotional day for many runners out there. No one more so than a woman that is now standing by with Zuraidah Sambalin. She's at the...
On in the race, she looks good. I do think she was a little concerned knowing that she was running pretty fast, but I don't see a watch on her. I don't see her glancing at the clock. She's just settling in and trying to stay focused.
Well, this pace from Kosgei is insane. She went through 5K in 15:28. That's 2:10 pace. I mean, it is astonishing, unprecedented, much, much quicker than Paula Radcliffe.
Todd Williams, or are we just going to take a look at him? I think we'll take a look at them. Here's the Pacers. What pace are they on? How are they looking?
Well, they're moving pretty well. I mean, they went through.
Todd, can you hear me?
Yeah, you know, about a mile ago, he was looking back to see if there anybody else he could run with, and then it just like the band broke, and now he's in 9th place, falling off the back of this lead pack. We've got a pack of 8 now with Mo in there, but Chirono's in 2nd of the pack. He's taking the lead, but most of the time so far through 7 miles, which is 2:04 pace, Chumba's really done a good job. You know, I was looking at Chumba's stats, thinking about this is his 20th marathon. He's averaged 2:07 over those first 19. He's really looking good right now. Kuroki's in there, and Chirono is now up with the 2 pacers and looking really comfortable. But yeah, Rupp is off the back, and he's going to have a long last 20 miles.
You're sort of simulating the running action, but there's no weight-bearing stress.
Right.
The best thing for Galen to do today is just to have a nice, solid effort, kind of leading the way for the U.S. Olympic trials coming up in the end of February. If he can run in the 2:10 range, I think he would be happy with today's efforts.
I think you're right. All right, let's stay with us now. We're going to check back in with the runners when we come back from the 42nd running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Don't go anywhere.
Little shocked that Mo Farah is back off this group of 6 or 7 guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going through a bad patch or what, but and is that Abdi Bashir, his training partner with him with the yellow arm sleeves, and that is Mo Farah in the all red back there. This is unexpected.
Well, it is, especially when you have 6 other athletes that have decided to continue with those pace setters. And again, I think this might be a conscious decision on Mo's part. Just going, 2:04 right now. Maybe it's too cold. Maybe it's too windy. I don't think I can maintain this. I think the fact that...
All right, let's check in now with Brigid Kosgei. Carrie Tollefson is in front of our female leader. How's she looking there, Carrie?
Well, Brigid looks good. She's really focusing on her pacemakers right now. She can finally see the truck in front of her with her paces. And so they have settled down. Her last mile was 5:10. That's her slowest mile. So you guys, she's still on well under world record.
This is Carol Marine at the Bank of Chicago Marathon. We are at mile marker 10. I'm in the lead truck, right in front of the elite runners. And please, don't think me shallow, but I love those pink shoes these guys are wearing. It is amazing. They are running with very little on, but the spectators are as layered up as all of us. And yet there is such...
They will be aware that Mo Farah has dropped back off them. I'm sure they will have had the odd glance back at... They've done corners where you get an opportunity to look, to check across. And they will not want to let up here. This is a major point in the race for Mo Farah to have dropped back by, 100 meters maybe? But well before halfway. I mean, 53 minutes on the clock. They're not going to be at halfway for another 8 or 9 minutes. They will redouble their efforts here to make sure this stays at a decent size, this gap, if it doesn't grow.
And now they're heading south. From what I understand earlier, the wind was going to be more of a factor when they started heading south. So we'll see if it does have any effect. You guys don't seem to think the wind will be a huge deal for these runners.
Well, I think it would be if it was up a little higher, but to me it doesn't seem like it's blowing as heavy as we thought it was going to be. And certainly as they're running behind the pace setters, and that wind is buffered somewhat. And
we had a 5:10, 5:10, and then a 5:15. So it's going to be interesting to see what we come up on 11 here and see where she's at. She looks good. She looks like she's taken in her fluids. Not a lot of fluid. I know it's a cooler day. She takes just a sip, and then she puts it back or throws it to the side. But, right now, she just really is kind of going through the motions. And this is where she kind of started to get a little antsy last year. We went through about 15K with a big pack of 5. And then we got right before the half marathon, and then she started to really crank it down. Today's race is totally different. She's not going to be able to crank it down like she did. She's got to maintain right now in order to keep that world record pace within reach. She's definitely still on it, but she has to keep in mind this is a big race for her to win still. So we can't see anyone behind her, but she looks great right now.
Right.
The strategy, I mean, clearly she is the leader in the race right now. Not just this race, but just in the running. As a marathoner, right now, she's like the top woman out there. The strategy, because we've seen her over the years, but lately, the last few races, she's been dominant.
Well, she has, but, you know, she was 50.58 at 10 miles. Paula Radcliffe and her world record was 51.48.
Okay.
So she is 50 seconds quicker than nearly a minute quicker at 10 miles.
Carrie made an excellent point, though, in that most of her major marathons in the past, she has negative splitted, meaning she's come back a lot harder the second half than the first half. Now, she's not going to be doing that today because she's gone out way hard in this first half, and it's going to be tough
And that
for
was
her.
your concern initially.
That was my concern initially, and I'm wondering if the fatigue level will allow her to even run close to what she ran over the first half.
Or is this part of her plan?
I don't think it's part of the plan. I think the pace setters maybe got a little too ambitious early on, and because she has been such a great fast finisher, I would have thought that she would have wanted to at least run an even pace. She's not wanted to run a positive paces, which is where you go out too hard, because then you just hurt that much more because you're in that pain zone for an extended period of time. You want to be in the pain zone for as little as possible right there towards the end. And we'll see. She's a tremendous athlete. I hope that she can pull it off. If she does, it'll be monumental, though, having gone out that hard that first 5K.
It will. All right. Don't go away. Lot to watch as we are watching the 42nd running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Stay with us.
And welcome back to the 2019 Bank of America Chicago Marathon. We are looking at the one and only Brigid Kosgei. She's running by herself for most of the day. The concern here is whether or not she went out too fast.
Well, last we were told she came through 25 kilometers at 1 hour, 19 minutes, 33 seconds. That's still 2 hours, 14 minutes and 16 second
ทุก
pace.
ท่าน
That's
ที่
still
ชมไลฟ์
ahead of world record
ชิคาโก
pace.
มาราธอน
Remember, she was
2019
way
อยู่
ahead of
นะครับ
world record pace earlier on.
ตอน
So the
นี้นะครับ
question is, how much
โม
has she
ฟาลา
slowed and can she continue
ตามก
her
ลุ่ม
momentum
นำอยู่ประ
going?
มาณ1 นาทีนะครับ หลังจากที่ผมเช็คทาง
Well,
แอปแล้ว
2:14 tempo. What she has done is she's well past halfway.
ก็
She's built up a big
ลุ้น
cushion
และเชียร์ต่อไป
behind
ครับ
her now. Now, I don't know,
เพราะว่า
Carrie Thompson, if you can hear us out there on the bike,
Elite
if you
Field
can
ที่ผมเคย
see
ส่ง
the
ไว้ในเพจ
expression
เนี่
on
ย
the face of
แต่ละคน PB โหด
Brigid
ทั้งนั้นเลย
Kosgei.
ครับ
Has she shown any signs of strain yet?
และเร็วกว่าโมฟาลาตั้งหลาย
You
ค
know,
น
she
นะครับ
looks really good right now,
ยังไง
Tim,
ก็
but
เป็น
she
กำลังใจ
did
ให้
go
กับ
through
โม
still
ฟาลา
a
กันนะครับ
minute faster than what Paula Radcliffe went through 25K when she set her world record. So she's still doing really well. I don't think she's quite as comfortable as she was, you know, a few miles ago. But listen, she'll go through, she'll run 5:09, 5:09, then 5:12. And then she'll do 5:09, 5:09, 5:14. So I'm not quite sure if it's the Pacers or if it's her, but I do think that she's locked in right now. She's starting to show her teeth every now and then. Her eyes aren't always up. Sometimes they're kind of creeping down. And I find that when I see a runner at this vantage view, I see their eyes drop, and that kind of worries me. But right now, she looks good. She's got a really good rhythm.
It's apart from Chumba struggling, and he looked the most up for it, didn't he? Through the first 10 miles or so. I mean, Chumba was certainly there pushing the pace. He was up behind the pacemakers. Almost, it looked like he was chomping at the bit. But now we are down to 5, and Kuroki there, who is the quickest of all these fellas at the half marathon. I'm Bidan Kuroki is a 58:43, I think it is his best half marathon. He has the best track credentials of all of them, 26:52 for 10,000 meters on the track a couple of years ago, and actually really good recent form with that win in Buenos Aires back in late August in 59:05 for the half. So Kuroki here looking great, I have to say.
Yeah, Kuroki coming into this thing, the fact that he ran so fast down in Argentina, 59:05, and the fact that he has great track speed, boy, I would like to be away from him right now. I'm wondering, Todd, you're right down there in the midst of them right now. Who's looking the best to you right now? Kuroki has a great finishing speed, but what can you tell us?
I mean, Kuroki looks really great. He's really comfortable. When the pace setter dropped, you know, he took the lead. No problems at all. Just shoulders are low. Facial expression's great. He handled the water stations well. But, you know, with the other four, DeBella looks super strong. He hasn't touched the lead. He's just looking around all the time, so he's relaxed. And then, of course, you got the Boston Marathon champ, Chirono, that's just kind of biding his time. And maybe, you know, come down that last couple miles, we'll see. But it's definitely down to the pack of 5. Looking about last projected time was right at about 2:05.
And Toronto's still in there. The fact that they're packed together. I mean, are we talking tactics here too? The Pacers are no longer in it. Are they all trying to figure out how to run their best race?
Well, that is a danger, of course, in this sort of situation. I say danger. It may affect the eventual finish time being optimally fast. But actually, you know, if it's a cat and mouse game for these next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so be it. You know, we want to see great strategy and tactical racing. Very, very different to Brigid Kosgei, who has just gone through 30K in 1:35.18. She's on 2:14 schedule still, and it's looking more and more likely that Paula Radcliffe's world record holder status is living on borrowed time.
Wow. That's big talk right there. I know we talked a little bit about her coming out too strong, so we'll see how that all plays out. This is when it gets super, super exciting. Do not go anywhere. Lots to keep track of with the 42nd running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Stay with us. Great to see. I'd like to hear, because it was a great question by Zoraida asking, what's the difference? Because for so long she was number 2, and she just said consistency, training, just working hard, working hard. Yeah, that's something to be said for that.
It's the same for all athletes, whatever their status. You know, if you can just put together several years of consistent hard training without the injuries, it's the injuries that can cripple careers. You know, it really does hold you back. It interrupts your progression. But if you can maintain those that great progression of training, winter after winter, you will see that improvement in performance.
And she certainly has shown that. Now we are looking at another phenomenal athlete in Brigid Kosgei, who's been so dominant over the last year and really seems almost invincible right now as well.
Well, she went out fast, but she was past 30K in 1:35.18. She's 10 minutes beyond that right now, and at that time she was at 2:14 flat pace. So I think she's done a great job of just ratcheting it back, getting in on world record pace, and just maintaining that, almost like a metronome behind those two.
Hey, come on out. It's not too late. The elites, though, we are getting close to seeing. We're going to be close to the end here pretty soon. We've got this same pack, however, of 5 guys. They're really holding on. Could somebody break out? Does anybody have? You said about the track guy, Karaka. He's the kind of guy who could break out to try to get away from this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised that Kuroki was pushing so that 35K, 1:43.53 Ed. So they haven't let up much in that men's race, and neither has this lady. Boy,
she really hasn't. All right, guys, hold it right there. We're going to take it to break, but when we come back, we will follow all the way through till we have a men's champion for the 42nd running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Come right back.
ก็จะเป็นม็อกเจอเร็วจาก USA นะครับแล้วก็รีเล่จาก USA เหมือนกันนะครับส่วนการเล่นรับหายไปแล้ว
Looks like he's straining and that chop.
And they're turning. They're on the turn. Columbus drive.
อันนี้โค้งสุดท้ายแล้วนะครับกำลังจะเข้าเส้นชัยแล้วนะครับ3 คนนะครับมาดูว่าใครจะได้ที่ 1ลอเรนซ์ตอนนี้อยู่อันดับ 1นะครับเชโรโนลอเรนซ์จากเคนยานะครับ
hits the front. Debele in his slipstream. Mengstu behind him, but Chirono here isn't able to open a gap at the moment. This is mind over matter. This is will over those tiring legs. Who's going to get there? Chirono pushes for the line.
เชโรโนอยู่ข้างหน้านะครับ
It's not really a sprint. It's just the ultimate test of endurance.
เชโรโนได้แชมป์นะครับปีนี้นะครับชิคาโกมาราธอนปี 2019 เป็นเชโรโนอันดับ 1นะครับ
East African dust-up between Kenya and Ethiopia, and Lawrence Chirono. Many people's
อันดับ 2 จะเป็นเดเบล่าเดเจเน่นะครับจากเอธิโอเปียแล้วก็อาเซฟานะครับ
That looks like when he took it over.
Well, he about a minute and 20 seconds. About About 15 minutes ago.
Yes. Yes, and just courageous on her part. You know, it looked a little
He's going to run under 2:15 here, which I think she probably is. Break the world record by something like a minute. There is more to come. That is frightening.
That is amazing. And it's almost despite what you guys have seen her do. It's not the race any of you would have planned.
With this performance, Tirunesh Dibaba and more importantly, Paula Radcliffe, the world record holder, for another few seconds as she comes to the line to smash the world record here. Watch the clock. 50 meters to go, 30 meters to go. The line reads her there, 2:14.03.
Wow. Congratulations.
Amazing. 1 minute, 22 seconds unofficially off the world record. A new era opens up here with the feat of this young lady today. Brigid Kosgei, at the age of 25, can undoubtedly go quicker. She's been unbeaten in 6 races, now 7 races. She won Peachtree 10K back in the 4th of July. Who doesn't know about that massive 10K?
Harry Pinkowski's very happy right now. First one to give her a hug. He gets a world record at the